Hello and welcome to White Mouse Productions' fourth annual 365 Women's Play Festival. All filming in person was filmed under strict COVID protocols that adhered to the CDC guidelines. And now introducing your host for the evening, Danny Didi.
Hi everyone, my name is Danny Didi, and I am your host tonight. Thank you all for coming. Tonight we have 6 10-minute plays telling the untold stories of forgotten women in history. Some of these women you may recognize, like Peggy Schuyler, the star of Hamilton in my opinion, and others you may not. First up, we have Mother of Chemistry, written by Rex McGregor. Marie Anne Lavoisier was the wife of Antony Lavoisier, widely regarded as the father of chemistry. For a woman in the 18th century France, she was widely respected in the field of chemistry as Antony's lab assistant. Marie Anne spoke fluent English, which her husband never mastered, and was able to translate scientific works for him. She also campaigned for Antony's scientific theories and received formal training in the field from renowned scientists.
He disputes my work.
He respects your integrity.
Goodness.
Even your rivals support you.
It's too late.
The court can't ignore this.
Marianne, they've pronounced the verdict. The guillotine.
No.
The others two.
My father.
You've double crossed him.
I'll grieve for him once I've rescued you.
My love, you cannot charm the guard to let me out.
I've written to the whole committee. Surely there's one educated man amongst them.
An unverified hypothesis.
How can you joke?
I go to the block within the hour.
That's outrageous. They must grant time for an appeal.
They need these cells for more victims.
Savages. I supported the revolution. Now it's drowning in blood.
Hold on to your ideals. I can face death knowing you'll be safe.
What good is safety to a childless widow?
You're married. You may yet be blessed.
I can never become pregnant.
Wait and see.
Mom, I tried for years. With another man.
One day he stopped.
Oh, forgive me. I was desperate for a baby.
Maria, we created something. Together. Our work.
Our work.
I never could have work. We never could have made our discoveries without you.
The joy of my life to document your experiments.
You did so much more than sketch. You translated Priestley, pointing out his errors.
That fool. He still believes it's logistic.
A little hard time to hurt. Let's continue our work. Take it to the world.
You know that's not possible. It's illegal for a woman to practice chemistry.
That never stopped you before.
I was her laboratory assistant.
Partner.
And besides, they confiscated all of our equipment.
Reclaim it.
I don't need test tubes, Antoine. I need you.
My students crowned me with this. It's yours now. Spread our legacy.
I can't. I can only mourn.
Lavoisier. And now to meet you at last. Louis Santos.
Oh, from the committee.
At your service, your letter was most eloquent.
Oh, I didn't expect someone so polite.
I am only 26, and I've already been president of the National Convention.
Don't brag, Louis.
I stand rebuked. No politician can match the eminence of citizen Lavoisier.
Who's he again?
The father of chemistry. He discovered, what do you call it? Stuff you breathe.
Air?
Oxygen.
Never heard of it.
Hydrogen. It's now new. Reflects on me.
One day, everybody will be like,
That's not how you predict the future. You gotta be specific.
Citizens may I present Mademoiselle Lenormand.
Fortune teller. She's heard of me, Louis, and I'm only 21. Oh, your charities are the talk of the town. Do you have your cards with you? Always. You want a session? I'd like to examine the deck, if I may. Feel free. No doubt you use sleight of hand. Each card marked on the back. I can do readings blindfold, so it's by touch, different textures then. I don't need cards.
My theory, she senses, what do you call it? Spiritual emanations.
Hogwash.
Now hold on. Her prophecies are incredibly accurate. How do you account for that?
She reads people. Don't you, my dear?
Can't give away trade secrets.
Oh, I admit it. You're a cheap swindler.
Wait a minute.
Oh, you go, little fool. Test her under controlled conditions.
If she's a fraud, I will lock her up myself.
Oh, you are such a prig, Louis. I've gone right off you.
We'll settle this later. Your time has come, citizen. Now, if you'll be so kind.
What are you doing?
Behind your back is much more.
I thought you were here to set him free.
No. I am here to shake the hand of the great man. And personally escort him to the scaffold.
Surely you appreciate how important he is to France.
To the whole world's a lamentable day for some.
Then you'll intervene.
We are not killing Lavoisier, the chemist. We are executing Lavoisier, the cheap tax collector.
I acted within the law
The wall around Paris was your idea, was it?
to control the flow of goods.
To fleece merchants and to line your pockets.
Malicious lies.
Yeah! Citizen, you must accept the inevitable.
I do. Marie, I'll save it for well.
No, no.
I abandon all hope, Lord. All vain ambition.
Spoken like a stoic. I admire you.
No one else will. My reputation will vanish as insubstantial as phlogiston.
Lodge wood.
Phlogiston, it's the, something makes me burn. I know my friends.
I leave the world to men such as you. You spurn superstition.
There's a scientist. Calm and rational.
I am only a woman, prone to sentiment. Soldiers took away my husband's things, weird-shaped flasks and whatnot.
Dear.
If I could have them back, it would be some consolation.
Leave it to me. I'm actually in favor of women owning property. Call me a radical.
Is this yours?
It was.
Oh, I'm afraid the executioner doesn't permit any head covering.
I'll have it. The classical looks in fashion.
Is such an adornment appropriate for an imminent widow?
Apollo wore the first laurel wreath in mourning for his love.
I always thought it was a symbol of triumph.
Later on.
Scholarly debate. How stoic.
May we have one last minute alone?
Of course. Now you're out!
I shall be a good mother of chemistry.
Next, we have Drawing Lili'u, written by Linda Crawford. Queen Lili'uokalani was the last monarch of the Hawaiian kingdom that was overthrown in 1893. Though she never had any biological kids, she was a mother to all and adopted many as a ruler. She died in 1917 after having to abdicate the Hawaiian throne to America. She was inspiration to many during her time and now.
Kalani, there you are.
Aloha, Nina. I'm so glad we could arrange this. Wish we could do it in person, though, you know?
I know, but I'm happy to see you, even if it has to be virtually.
Yes, yeah. Oh, Nina. Look at your work. You really do them justice.
From you, that means a lot.
We're so happy to have you at the museum.
Mahalo, I'm honored to be there.
And how's the last one coming? Lili'uokalani. She's going to be the centerpiece of this exhibit, you know, and I'm really excited to see her.
Well, here she is, or isn't.
I don't understand.
Over 30 attempts and none of them work. That's why I asked you here. Your family had connections to the royal line, right?
On my mother's side, she's a direct descendant.
Well, maybe you can give me some insight. I mean, I've studied her photographs, I've listened to her music, and then I go to draw her. It's as if something is stopping me. And I can't help thinking maybe she doesn't want me to draw her.
Why would that be?
Maybe because I'm a haole.
No, of course not. She married a white man, so she was never like that.
Well, then what? I get close, I see her clearly in my mind, and then I just lose her. I've never experienced this before. Do you think it could be that her spirit is broken by what happened? That's why I can't connect with her?
Her spirit was never broken. Read her book.
I have.
Then you should know what broke was her heart.
Well, I can certainly relate to that. So why can't I reach her?
Have you asked her?
I'm not sure I understand.
Can't hurt. Close your eyes and ask, and just wait for a response.
Why would she talk to me?
Why wouldn't she? She loved artists.
Yes, but I'm a failure as an artist as far as she's concerned. Maybe I should give up on this one.
Well, having this piece would really bring the collection together. And without it, we would have to lose our commission, and we'd probably have to give up the whole exhibit to someone else. Lulu never gave up. And you shouldn't either. Call me when you have something, okay?
Yeah, for sure.
All right. I'm gonna head out. I believe in you. Call me when you have something, okay?
Yeah, thanks.
Bye.
Bye. Oh dear Queen, what is getting in the way of my seeing you?
Maybe it's the way you're seeing me.
What is this? You're here.
Called me.
I guess I did. I just didn't expect to really hear from you or see you.
Seemed expedient. I think the problem might be your perception of me as a victim, a broken woman.
Yes, but after what you went through.
I went through life. Are you one of those who's had a charmed existence?
No, not at all.
Well, my imprisonment, all of that, it doesn't define me.
No, you're right.
How do you see me now, in front of you?
Beautiful, strong.
And free?
Because in death you are finally free. I got it.
No, you don't get it. I have always been free. I knew it even if they didn't. They took my freedom, but still I was free in here. And they took our land, but still it is our land. It will always remain so. I could sit for you if you would like.
I must be dreaming.
Isn't that what the imagination is for? Crossing barriers. Here, okay?
Yes, thank you. I hope I don't disappoint you.
Oh, worrying about that is probably getting in your way too.
Yes, but it's you. Lili'uokalani. It has to be good.
Lili'u is fine. I prefer it. And what does that mean? Good. A strong likeness? You're very adept, I can see. I love them all. But Bernice is particularly striking. She was always so beautiful.
Thank you, but it's not just about being technically adept. I have to be able to see into you and convey more than your likeness.
My soul?
Yes,
The missionaries always talked of soul. Then they stole my land.
I'm surprised you say that. From what I've read, you remained very religious.
Yes,
You didn't question your faith because of what happened?
my faith in man? Yes. Not in God. Do you have faith?
Maybe more hope than faith, hoping for peace and love.
The basis for all religion.
If it is, they've lost their way. I'm more comfortable with the law of aloha.
Respect and kindness.
Yeah, I'll go with let me try something else.
What's wrong?
Something is still stopping me. Even with you sitting right in front of me. If it's not you, what is it?
Maybe it's you.
Me? Why?
Maybe something about me scares you. Perhaps you can't bear to see the lie.
What lie?
Do you consider yourself Hawaiian?
Not native Hawaiian, but after 33 years here, yeah, I guess I do.
And American?
Of course.
That's where we differ.
I can understand that.
I'm not saying you are not welcome. We've always been a friendly nation. But know where you are.
So you think the monarchy should be restored?
Not about the monarchy or me. It's about what is Pono.
Yes, but
America is about the will of the people, right? But they ignored the will of the people when it was our people. Ignored by your President McKinley and the US Congress. Promises were made, broken.
so much has happened since then.
Maybe this is why you are more comfortable with a romantic vision of an imprisoned queen whose throne was taken from her a century ago, but it was nothing to do with today.
No, I am interested in making that connection, but I mean, how can I presume to really know you and what you would say? Just imagine you sitting here, aren't I? Imagine this whole conversation.
Well, then just draw me as you think I am, a failure.
No, I didn't say that, but
What? Speak up.
in a way, you were a failure. You never succeeded in getting Hawaii back. Why did you agree to it, to signing away the throne?
There can only be one reason: to save the lives of those who stood with me, who were to be hanged. For myself, I would have chosen death. But I couldn't sacrifice their lives. I could never abandon my people. You want to see into the real me, into my soul? All right. Draw the sea. Start there. I'm serious. Go ahead. And the mountains. Mauna, Awakea, Haleakala. That's where I am.
I don't know what's happening, but something's coming.
And every hula, every flower and lay, and our beloved Toddle, the call of the nene, our keiki at play, in every proud Hawaiian, every Malay, every aloha, our culture is alive and getting stronger. What's wrong?
You were not the failure. It was my failure to see.
It's not just you. It's how the world sees me. But maybe you were drawn to that because that's how you see yourself too, as a failure. I think it's time for a self-portrait, Nina, to see you more clearly.
But I have failed more ways than one. Not even about art and love. I've never been able to.
Perhaps, just not yet.
I don't have your patience. I've tried many times, but it just never takes. So here I am now, alone, no children.
Maybe the problem is the way you see love. I wasn't so lucky in that area either. No children of my own. My husband had a child with someone else. So after he died, I adopted the boy. And I have 2 other Hanai children as well. The heart is a mystery. Perhaps for us, love is not in the classical sense. I have poured love into my country. You might consider your drawings your children.
I do.
And you seem to have adopted us, the Hawaiian monarchy, as well. Why is that?
I guess it's my way of showing respect to you.
Many mahalos, Hina, for keeping us visible. May I look?
Oh, yes.
I like it. It's fierce. Looks like you broke through.
No. Actually, it was you who broke through to me. Mahalo, dear Queen. Aloha.
Next, we have The Great Retreat, written by White Mouse alumni Danielle Wersansky. The Great Retreat centers on main character Evelina Haverfield, along with other women who's worked in Serbia during World War I. Evelina was a nurse and a suffragette in her lifetime and set up an orphanage after the war in Serbia with her companion Vera, who is also part of the cast of this play.
Vera. Vera. Jack! What do you think you're doing? You know better than to be so loud. I'm sorry, I do. I couldn't find you. All you had to do was call my name. I did, and I showed up, didn't I? Vera. Evelina. Don't call me that. Then don't call me that. Jack. Eve. Did you cut your hair again? Why, is it too short? No, not too short. It is very wavy and curly. And do you hate that? You know I don't. Well, that's good, because I love it. You look like an impresario. And do you love that? I think I do. Why were you in the hammock? I rigged up our mosquito net in quite a slow manner. You know, it is lovely looking up at the stars and feeling the first rays of the sun and the breeze. And were you looking for me just to compliment me, or was there something else that you needed? Elsie wants to speak with us. What about? I don't know, but it can't be good. There's nothing good about war. She seemed strained somehow. More strained than usual? Yes, so very strained indeed. She asked me to have us meet her outside her tent. When? 5 minutes ago. We're late. Where were you? We were on our way. I told you this was important. I know, that's why I went to get Jack. Jack isn't the Commandant-in-Chief of the Women's Reserve Ambulance Corps. You are. Do you think I am unaware of that fact? Jack is not relevant to the conversation. Jack is a major and of high enough rank. No, she isn't. She drives cars. Wanting your paramour around you every second of the day is not a good enough reason to include her in every discussion. Why Eve? Elsie, I'm sure what you have to say must be very important indeed. Why not take a pause and then let us know what's going on?
I was going to say nothing.
I apologize for losing my temper. We're all under great strain.
I know. We know. Take a breath and then speak.
We have to leave.
Whatever do you mean?
We have to evacuate.
To higher ground?
No, the area.
How? To where?
There's nowhere else to go. Our backs are against a mountain.
That only leaves one place to go.
Where?
Over the mountain.
Are you insane?
Most likely.
Whose plan is this?
The king.
Our king?
No, the Serbian king. After the plan to withdraw to Macedonia failed, the army has been stuck here on the plains of Kosovo. They're almost completely encircled. The Germans, the Austro-Hungarians, the Bulgarians, there's too many of them.
And the only way out is over the mountain? How would that be preferable?
Eve.
It's a death wish. It's cold and wet and miserable here. The winter will only make it worse.
Who's to be included in this retreat?
The Serbian government has ordered us to retreat across the mountains of Montenegro and Albania.
In hope of what?
They hope to reach the Adriatic coast and be rescued by Allied ships.
You didn't answer Jack. Who is to be included in this retreat?
Everyone.
Everyone? The entire nation of Serbia?
Yes.
Insanity.
They want to take the remnants of the Serbian army, the king, hundreds of thousands of civilian refugees with thousands of Austrian prisoners across some of the roughest terrain in Europe in the middle of winter, enduring harsh weather, treacherous roads, and enemy raids?
Yes.
Do you know how many people will die?
I expect quite a lot will.
You say that so cavalierly.
There's no other choice.
There's always another choice.
Have we looked at this from all angles?
Yes, I've considered it as the commanders have.
And?
It is a hard and difficult decision, but it is the lesser of two evils.
So many will die.
Better than if everyone dies, us included.
We're not Serbian. Why do we need to be included in this? We could just leave. We can go.
You stop it! Listen to yourself. You would leave all these people here without medical help? They are the responsibility of our Scottish Women's Hospital units. If we leave, they will surely all perish. They need us. We made a commitment.
Sacrifice ourselves to save them?
Eve.
Don't Eve me, Jack. She's asking us to die.
She's asking us to help as many people as we can to live. Eve, we made a promise.
I know, but what if...
What if what? I'll keep you safe.
I know you will.
Then what?
What about you? Who will protect you? I couldn't bear it.
We must all protect each other, Eve, for that's our job. We're all each other has out here in the middle of nowhere.
We have each other.
We must gather our staff.
To prepare them for what is to come.
We will all need each other in the time ahead. Can you both be strong?
Yes.
Okay. Then let us begin.
Next, we have Anne Peggy, written by Ali Costa. Anne Peggy is a true story about Catherine, Angelica, Eliza, and Peggy Schuyler. These four women lived during the late 18th century, and all four gave significant contributions to the American Revolution. Most may be familiar with them from Hamilton and American Musical as supporting roles, but in this play, you get a magnified look at the impacts of these four women throughout the Revolution and beyond.
Are you all right? Is the baby all right?
The baby's fine. Is everyone else okay?
I think so.
I think they've gone.
Maybe?
Mama is going to be so surprised when we...
Mother!
Thank heavens
You'll
you're
never
home.
believe what has happened.
I
I scarcely believe it myself.
Where is he?
Your father will be here presently. Yes, I'm fine. What is it?
There were so many of them.
A dozen, at least.
2 dozen.
We were lucky to escape with our lives.
What?
They were...
It was...
Daughters, please. If you're going to regale me with such tales, you must permit me to sit. Well, is anybody going to tell me what occurred in my absence?
I was...
First...
As eldest sister, I believe that I should go first.
But you...
I have never had such a fright. It is a wonder I did not deliver my child right here. There we were, eating a meal and enjoying the balmy summer breeze, when suddenly we were set upon by 24 strangers. They ran through that very door and demanded to know Father's location. And when we told them that he was not home, they threatened to hold us hostage until we told them the truth. Before I could catch my breath, I was bound to that very chair. It was a nightmare to endure. The invaders repeatedly asked, "Where is your father?" "I do not know, sir." "Where is he?" "I swear to you, I do not know." "Bring us to the traitor." Then, in one shining moment, as our captors' backs were turned, I summoned my strength and dislodged myself from the bindings. I then escaped to the basement, bringing dear Eliza and Peggy with me, ensuring their safety. I fear what might have happened had I not been there, but thankfully I was.
Oh, my poor darling dears. What an ordeal.
A nightmare.
The baby would not stop kicking.
Would it not be marvelous if they were born on the same day?
Oh, they shall be thick as thieves. But, dearest Angelica, we did not escape to the basement.
Did we not?
No, we fled upstairs, remember?
Perhaps you should tell us what you recall, Eliza.
Oh, yes, do.
All right. Well, as Angelica said, we were having a meal. An after-dinner treat, actually, just a little something, when a dozen men...
2 dozen.
Angelica, I did not interrupt you.
Okay.
When a dozen men burst through the door. I feared for our lives, but our would-be captors were not here for us. Oh no, they were here for Papa. They said he was a spy. They insisted we reveal his whereabouts, but we refused. They called him a traitor and a coward, but we defended his good name. They began to ransack the house, pilfering some items, breaking others, and upending the furniture, including that very chair. It is a wonder I did not faint right on the spot. One of the men cornered me and demanded I take him to Father immediately. Thankfully, Peggy distracted him.
Peggy?
By telling him that armed reinforcements were on the way from town and they should flee at once. When the men began to argue amongst themselves, we 3 sisters seized the opportunity to take our leave. We retreated upstairs and barricaded ourselves in a bedroom for an hour.
4 hours.
Until we were certain they had gone. We had only just come back downstairs when you arrived, Mama.
Did you see any of the men as you approached?
No, but if it had been hours since they had left, wouldn't they have been long gone before I got home?
Ah, yes.
Yes.
It wasn't that long.
Pardon, dear?
As Eliza said, we had only just come back downstairs when you arrived. I watched the men retreat from the bedroom window, and then the house fell silent. So we knew it was safe to return. Besides, Angelica didn't want to let our dessert go to waste.
How could I? It was delicious.
It was.
My wonderful daughters, my precious girls. I am so happy that you are all safe.
Yes. Yes, we all are.
Where was the baby?
What?
Where was the baby when all of this occurred?
In her cradle, of course.
Her cradle? Which resides beside this door?
They must have taken that too.
She was in her cradle until I retrieved her. While we were treating ourselves to dessert, 10, perhaps 12 armed men entered the premises. Fearing for our lives, we ran upstairs, then realized we left dear Catherine behind in her cradle. When I went downstairs to retrieve her, I was threatened by a man who asked where father was. I informed him that father had gone to alarm the town. Afraid they would be captured, the intruders fled, and one threw a tomahawk at me. If you look at the banister, you will see the cut mark.
We should leave it there as a memento.
Ooh, let's.
We shall have such a story to tell father when he comes home. Shall we finish our dessert?
Yes, please. Coming, Mama?
In a moment, dear. Thank you for protecting our family.
Of course.
My brave Peggy. May history remember you fondly, my dear.
Next up, we have Standard Practices by Schuyler Lubin. Standard Practices confronts the societal roles and expectations of women in the late 19th century. Ida Tarbell was an investigative journalist, well known for exposing the corruption within the Standard Oil Company through her publication titled History of the Standard Oil Company. Labeled as a muckraker, Ida was an independent woman who stopped at nothing to obtain the truth. She is remembered for her contributions to justice by creating pathways for women to be acknowledged as powerful intellectuals who make contributions to the world.
Don't marry George. I don't. Whatever are you talking about? Just don't. Don't get married. Well, which is it? Don't marry George in particular, or don't get married at all? Don't get married at all, but particularly to George. I knew you never liked him. It's not about George's personality. I like him just fine. It's you. I can't stand to watch what you will become as his wife. I'll still be me. I will always be me. No, my love. You won't. Then what will I be? A wannabe society lady. You don't think I can make it in high society? I don't believe high society deserves you. And I don't think George's mother would agree with that statement. Is that really what you want for your life, Laura? I want a life. I know that. And you don't think you have one now? Not in real life. Not yet. You're an accomplished woman. You've been to college with a useless degree in art. You're a wonderful painter and seamstress, and you work in a doctor's office. My father's office, and I live in my father's home with my mother taking care of everything. I feel like I'm just waiting for my life to begin, and you have to admit, theirs has its appeals. No, I don't. What appeal? With George, I'll have a life of leisure. My point precisely. What do the solid women actually do? Dress up, primp and polish themselves, and other equally trivial occupations. I can't even call them occupations, pastimes. Someone has to fold the laundry. I'm not talking about actual necessities, like cooking and cleaning and washing dishes. At the Southard family manse, no Southards are actually cooking, cleaning, or washing anything. Servants do those very worthy enterprises. I'm not sure the suffragettes would consider them very worthy enterprises. Which is why I don't think much of the suffragettes. They look down on women's menial labor just as much as the upper classes do. But as much as I loathe them, they are not the worst, those suffragettes. They may be far more oblivious and self-serving than they will ever understand, but at least they are well-meaning, so they are not completely worthless. That honor of supreme worthlessness goes to the society ladies. Please, please, my dear heart, don't become one of them. There is nothing noble in the life of a woman of the nobility.
It may not be a noble life, but couldn't it be fun? What more should a society lady do than dress in primp, making herself a fitting accoutrement for her husband?
Talk, of course. They certainly do talk. Chatter, chatter, chatter. It's all chatter. For when they talk, it's nothing but self-discussion.
Self-discussion. You mean gossip?
Worse. Self-gossip. Talking about what they did, how they feel about what they did, how much disdain they have for what others did, how those others looked doing it, and what they were wearing while they were. Useless trivia. And when they've exhausted those topics, it's all about what they plan to do that's so much finer and fancier than what anyone else will do. And then, my favorite, the pièce de resistance, what they could do, if only they were prettier, or wealthier, or more loved, or appropriately appreciated.
We love to talk, you and I. What's the difference? Aren't we just self-gossiping?
No. We are discussing, dissecting, analyzing, fomenting, discovering.
What's the difference? Do you think just by the mere virtue of the fact that it's you and I having these conversations that they're any more important than theirs? You're just as much of a snob as they are.
No, it's not at all the same. It is difficult for me to explain myself, and I do not often try, so most of the time I just talk shop. But with you, what we're doing is what talk is for.
Well, I must admit, talking with you is not like talking with anybody else.
And I wouldn't want it any other way. I couldn't stand for you to be any other way.
I may not bring down major corporations, but I do fold the laundry.
And sterilize the thermometers. We all play our part,
including the suffragettes and the society ladies.
Yes, I suppose.
And George F. Southard, and John D. Rockefeller.
I hate privilege of any sort.
You and I both have privilege.
Okay, I hate the abuse of privilege, and will expose it at every turn.
And that's why they call you a muckraker.
I hate that term as well.
You seem to hate a lot of things.
Not you. I don't hate you.
Will you ever forgive me if I marry George?
I don't know. If you marry Standard Oil, it will be difficult. Not just to forgive you, but even to look at you, to inhabit the same space as that world.
Would that be the only reason?
You know what?
So let me move in here.
Let me live here with you. I can't live with anyone. You can't live with a man. I'm not a man. I'm a woman. A woman who will not be a wife.
Let me live here. I can be the wife.
I can't let you.
I already fold your laundry. I already cook your dinner and I clean up after dinner. And I sweep the floor for you before you leave.
You shouldn't. I'm sorry.
But you're writing.
I'd be writing if you were here making me dinner or not.
You just wouldn't eat?
I'd grab some cold ham and a slice of cheese.
No bread?
Laura, we can't. We are both women. And I cannot be an ordinary woman.
Oh, no, my love. You are the most extraordinary woman.
I'm glad you recognize that.
You are the woman who took down the Standard Oil Company and exposed them for their underhanded abusive practices.
After researching them rigorously for 4 long years.
You brought them all the way to the Supreme Court, where their monopoly was finally broken up. Because of you. You are the one woman
The one person who did battle with John D. Rockefeller and won. He destroyed my father, and it gave me the greatest pleasure to destroy him. South Improvement Company, my eye. I don't know if I'd say you destroyed him, maybe just chopped off one or two appendages. I couldn't have done that. Couldn't do that if I were someone's wife. What if you were someone's husband? I cannot be someone's husband. You always say you can be anything, right? That's what you say, right? Laura. They had to create a new word just to describe what you're doing. Love raking muck, but I do hate that word. Why? It's so evocative. They took it from Pilgrim's Progress. The man who could look no way but down with his muck rake. That's not me. I'm not looking down, I'm looking through. And I'm never trying to see just one side. So many of our friends consider themselves radicals, and they're always begging us to join one or another movement, like the suffragettes. But you know what drives me crazy about all of them? They don't want all the facts. They don't want the whole truth. They just want enough information to confirm what they already believe. And anything that doesn't fit their view of the world gets ignored, negated, or tossed aside. They don't want to learn. They don't want to see everything, and they definitely don't want to be questioned. Aren't all humans that way, Ida? I'm not. And all I do is question. That's what I've devoted my entire life to. Asking the tough questions and dealing with all the implications of the tough answers. Well, you are superhuman. No, you are inhuman. All good journalists should be superhuman. All good politicians should be superhuman. What good does it do anyone to only listen to the facts they already agree with? And mark my word, if you're all one-sided, eventually people will stop listening to you. Well, at least the smart ones. So, you can't be a woman, and you can't be a man. You're not a wife or a husband, and you're not a muckraker. Then tell me, Ida, what exactly are you? You know, I'm a journalist. That's it? That's all? And a historian, a journalist and a historian. The sum total of Ida Tarbell's existence. Journalist and historian? That's all I can afford to be. To try to be anything else puts that at risk, and I will not put that at risk. I want to be a woman and have a purpose outside of my womanly duties. Sounds lovely, but you either live with the standard practices or you fight them. I chose to fight them. What will you choose? I choose both. I want to have a family and be able to do my art. Why isn't that possible? Haven't you been listening to a thing I said? If I marry George, then I don't have to do those wifely duties, just like you said. The servants will take care of those, so I can be a painter, right? If I marry George, I can have love and a family and be a painter, right? From the moment you get married, what you want no longer matters. That's ridiculous. You are contradicting yourself. You said a society lady can do whatever she wants. That's not at all what I said. And it's not at all true. I wish it were. No, you don't. You just don't want me to be able to have what I want. Marriage is a contract where a woman gives her hand as a representative of all of her in service to her husband and her family. But what a marriage is like behind closed doors, you will never know. And neither will you until you do it. Whatever goes on behind those closed doors, the husband is in charge and has the say. And whether it is a life of privilege or a life of toil, it is absolutely a life of which you no longer have an identity of your own at all. You will be George's wife. You will be your children's mother. Those are the standard practices. I will make my life different. I will have both. You can't have both. You say. No. Society says. George says. George's mother says. You have to choose. I choose you. You don't mean that. And you can't have me. I won't play the game. Then I choose to be alone. You don't mean that either. I love to be alone. You? You will wither and die alone, like a hothouse flower in a cold, dark root cellar. If I can't live here with you, and I can't live alone, then what choice do I have but to marry George wherever that may lead? Tell me, Ida, what choice do I have?
Cut.
Before we watch our last piece, we have some upcoming events we'd love for you to join us for. The Bench, written by Daniela Rodriguez, who is White Mouse's 2020 to 2021 Playwriting Fellow, has a staged reading December 2nd at 7 p.m. Next, we have Adding Machine, which is directed by Derek Sands and written by Elmer Rice, that goes up December 4th at 8 p.m. All this information can be found at our Facebook and Instagram pages at the handle at White Mouse Productions. Feel free to also email us at whitemousetheaterproductions@gmail.com. And last, we have White Cotton, written by Shellen Lubin. Fanni Lou Hamer was an American voting and women's rights activist, community organizer, and a leader in the civil rights movement. It is important that in this time, when some of us have discovered the power of voting, while others take this right for granted, and in time when we must remind people that all Black lives matter, may we remember American heroes like Fanni Lou Hamer, and may she rest in power. This piece does have references of sexual assault and violence.
Lou, a big, strong, dark, fierce woman who has just been manhandled, beaten, and raped, lying face down in the prison cell. She wears a plaid cotton dress, which is torn, bloodied, and dirtied. Her face and body are bloodied and dirtied as well. Where Lou is strong and fierce, Fanni is frail and broken. Fanni barely rises to speak.
It's not fair.
It ain't never been fair, and it ain't never gonna be fair.
Anything. Those damn police will get us on anything. Being in the wrong colored bus, standing on the steps of the city hall, standing on the wrong side of the bus station, sitting at the lunch counter.
They arrested us this time because they wanted to. That's all. Because they wanted to. Don't even need a reason. Treat us because they wanted to. Put their hands all over our bodies because they wanted to. Not just the women neither. Lawrence Rio, who came down here to post bond for us. They stripped him naked and threw him in a cell, and he's worse off than me.
He was trying to get us out. What are they scared of? What can we do to them?
Who knows? Registering and voting. If enough of us register and vote, who knows what we can make happen?
They said they'd let us go tonight.
Didn't you listen? Didn't you hear them? They said they'd let us go after dark so they can shoot us for trying to escape. We have to stay. Whatever they do to us, it's the only way out of here alive.
I can't take no more. I can't. My bad hip, my insides.
I know, baby.
I tried to keep my dress down.
That white highway patrolman walked over and pulled it up over my shoulders in front of the other officers.
He stared at my naked body as I writhed in pain.
The patrolman made one officer sit on my feet so I couldn't work my feet.
I tried to keep the blows from hitting my head, but I couldn't, my face.
And they said they're coming back in a little while to start up all over again. They said, you come to Winona, we gonna make you feel like you in hell. They said, you come to our town trying to get them niggas to register to vote, we gonna make you wish you was dead.
I do. I wish I was dead.
I gotta be strong. I gotta get through this. Live to fight another day.
I just want to laugh. Not all this tramping around making trouble, an easy laugh. Not always fighting for something.
You think I want to fight? I have to.
You have a choice.
But not for it to be easy. It was never easy. And even if we take it like they hand it to us, it ain't never gonna be easy for us.
I just want a home. Little yard, pecan trees, grass, little vegetable garden in the back where we smoke with butter beans.
Gotta have a job or a man who works. I couldn't get a job from the day Marlo threw me out, and now Pap can't get one either.
I want to dress so pretty, wear silk dresses and dainty hats with flowers and feathers and real jewelry.
I am not pretty. I'm a big, loud, dark woman. 20th child of a sharecropper, wife of a sharecropper. Never had a day I didn't work for someone at something.
Grow some babies inside of me, my very own baby.
You ain't never gonna have your very own babies. You know that.
How come they didn't beat up Vesta Simpson?
She's too light-skinned. They were afraid the bruises would show.
My bruises show. My hands are blue.
Can't see it.
I can't see out of my left eye.
Doesn't show. They can't be held responsible. Or at least they think they can't. And that's all they care about. This town, this county, this state, no Negro has voted in Mississippi for years. Do you realize what that means? These men rule by terror, by beating and raping and lynching and burning crosses. That's how they live. That's how they keep us in our place.
You hate them so much.
I don't hate them. No matter how much they hate me. What good would it do to me to hate them?
Well, you sure are angry. I don't want to be so angry.
I need my anger. It keeps me going. It feeds me. It keeps me from giving up. Stop until we make a change.
For me? Will it ever change for me?
I don't know. Maybe not. Certainly not enough. But whatever bit I can make it change, I will. It will still be some kind of progress. I'll still push that rock up the mountain a wee bit, even if it's just another few feet, another few inches. I may not be a great speaker, a poet, a college-educated scholar, a preacher, but I can stand up strong and tell people clear and plain what they've done to me, what they've done to all of us. So the federal government and all the people of this country know how we have been treated just because we want to register to vote, just because we want to be treated as decent human beings, just because we want to be first-class citizens of this country that claims to believe in freedom and justice.
Someone else will do it. Why does it have to be me? It'll happen anyway. Just gotta be patient.
I do not have to be patient. Patience keeps Negroes down. Patience keeps women down. I will have no patience. There may be only a few of us registered to vote now, but just a few years ago, we didn't even know we could register, that we could vote. I need to let people know what is possible. They don't know, and someone's got to tell them. Because if I can get enough people to see what is possible, that it is the law that we should be able to register and we should be able to vote, and enough people fight to be allowed to do that, then it's going to have to happen sometime. And maybe it'll even happen for me. Maybe I can help vote some politician out of office who ain't never done nothing for anyone except himself and his cronies. Maybe I can run for office. And even if I can't win the election myself, if I run, maybe some little Negro boy or girl will run too. And when we have enough Negroes voting, there could be Negro congressmen, no, Congress people, and Negro senators.
They were right when they said you don't have real good sense.
And you do? With your fantasies? with your dewy-eyed hope?
Hope is what keeps you believing that things are going to get better.
Hope is what keeps you believing that you don't have to do anything to make that better happen.
Don't you have faith?
You know I do.
The good Lord will save us.
Like he saved my daddy's cattle when the white man poisoned them so he'd have to go back to being a sharecropper. Like he saved my job when they threw me off the plantation where I had been timekeeper for 18 years. And Pat, right after me, as soon as the picking was done, you know what I have faith in? I have faith that the good Lord meant for me to do what I'm doing, and that he's going to give me the strength to see it through, whatever it takes.
You're a crazy woman. You've always been a crazy woman. You're always questioning the Lord. You stand up in church right during the sermon and question the preacher.
I don't question the Lord, just the men who say they speak for him. We have a right to know what his preaching means to us in our lives, don't we?
We got a right to a lot of things. Don't mean we're ever going to get them, but you're going to spend your whole life making trouble.
You bet I am. How the good Lord made me. My mama told me. She said, you respect yourself as a Black child. And when you're grown, you respect yourself as a Black woman. You respect yourself enough, you're gonna make them respect you.
Those policemen respect you?
My mama also told me, in the Mississippi Delta, a Black woman's body ain't never just her own. She protected me much as she could. We didn't have much, but she sure was good to me.
20 babies your mama had. I want babies. I want girl babies, and I want my babies to wear white cotton dresses.
You ain't gonna have no babies.
I want babies.
You can't have no babies. Your Mississippi appendectomy.
I want to have babies and babies and babies.
I went back and asked that doctor, why? I had a cyst, a little cyst. Why did you do that to me? Nothing. He said nothing. He knew he didn't have to answer, and he didn't. Fanny, no babies of your own. You just take others' reject babies.
I'm happy to take them. I love my girls.
And they ain't gonna be able to wear no white cotton dresses. White shows the dirt when they're thrown down to the ground. White shows the blood when some man forces himself on them. Your babies ain't gonna be safe from them no time soon. They can't even get no jobs when people know they're your babies. They gotta hide that they belong to Fanni Lou Hamer, or they'd get no jobs at all.
Then my baby's babies. And if not my baby's babies, then their babies. Someday my baby's baby's gonna wear white cotton dresses, and they're gonna have doll babies with Black faces, look just like. And they're gonna be able to go to school, even college, and no one's gonna mess up their white cotton dresses with blood and dirt and hate.
Because of what I'm doing. Only if they's able to vote and no one can stop them. Only if they's able to vote for men and women who will change things. Because you know, those white men in power here, they don't want nothing to change. So as long as they stay in office, nothing's gonna change.
God will make it happen. He won't let it go on this way forever.
Ha! The only white cotton you're ever gonna see is the white cotton you pick for the white men. We pick white cotton. We don't wear it. My man is a sharecropper just like my daddy was a sharecropper. All out in the fields picking the white man's white cotton.
My daddy wasn't just a sharecropper. He had a farm, rented the land, had his own farm for 5 years.
But they destroyed it. The lengths the white man will go to keep all the power for himself. No decency, no human consideration. When Marlowe didn't want me registering to vote, he didn't think for 1 second about what I had done for him. Forget being his timekeeper, but helping out with managing the crew and even helping out with his family. And during the war, baking him his favorite cakes and shipping them overseas to him. He just threw me off the plantation with mean looks, no less. And I was making life difficult for him, getting him in trouble with his boys, he said.
If you had just gone down to that courthouse and withdrawn your registration application, we could have stayed. You wouldn't have lost your job. You and the girls could have stayed with Pat. Pat wouldn't have lost his job and barely able to find another one. Every time you stand up for yourself, they take something else away.
Every time they take something away from me, it just makes me more sure I gotta stand up for myself.
Not me. I'm sick and tired.
Well, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. And I ain't gonna take it no more. I will live and breathe for my people to have the right to vote. Folks, listen to me. I'm good at getting them to understand how important it is to vote and to have the right to vote. When they get scared and lose heart, I raise my singing voice and they sing along with me and we all stay strong. I'm doing something good and right that I can believe in, and every day I get braver. And you'll see. Give it time. Give me some time. And people will treat me with the respect and appreciation I deserve for working so hard for this movement.
You ain't never gonna have anything for yourself.
Why? Because I'm not a man of the cloth? They got all the power?
Yeah, but more because you're not a man.
Negroes ain't supposed to challenge whites. Women ain't supposed to challenge men. Congregants ain't supposed to challenge preachers. Students ain't supposed to challenge teachers. It's all gotta change. It's gotta change. And we gotta change it. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Come on, girl. You gotta sing.
I can't. I'm done beat down. I can't do nothing no more.
I'll help you up.
Just gonna drag you down.
Lou trying to pick her up, but Fanny is dead weight.
I can carry you. Can't go nowhere without you, girl. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine.
Let me go. Let me die here.
They'll beat you again. They said they're gonna give it to me again tomorrow.
I can't take it. You can, but I can't. Take that damn blackjack. Just strike one lick and end my misery.
That's what I said to the man was beating me with it.
And now I'm saying it to you. Go on, I know you can, but you gotta let me go. Do it. Go ahead, do it. End this already.
I can't hurt you, baby. I'm doing this for you.
You can't carry me anymore. Beat me out of you. Let me go. I want to let go.
Lou's swinging the blackjack, trying to work up the courage to do it.
Fanni Lou Hamer gonna get so strong today. They ain't never gonna be able to stop me now. Ah! Right? Right?
Fanny is still. There is no answer. Lou drops the blackjack, drops down on her knees. Behind Fanny, cradles her.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. I I hear you, Adele. I hear you, Lester. Lawrence. James. Rosemary. June. This little light, I'm gonna let it shine. We're gonna live through this. I know we can. They will not stop us. Not if we don't let them. Let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine.
Thank you so much for joining us tonight and reflecting and celebrating these wonderful women who have done so much for all of us. Have a great night.